everybody, and welcome to GenFriends. I'm Cheri Hudson Passey from Carolina Girl Genealogy. And look at this fabulous panel we've got tonight. We've got Bernice Bennett. Woo! Hey, Bernice, how are you?
Hey, fine.
So glad to have you back. And if you want to get a hold of Bernice, it's Jenny, and it's B and then Roots, right? So Jenny,
Yes.
is that how you say it? Okay.
JeannieBRoots.com.
Jenny B. Roots. So if you need Bernice, that's a good way to get a hold of her. We've got Melissa Barker, the archive lady. Hello. Hi, Melissa. Now, did you get snow? Were you going to get snow?
We were just getting sleet before I came back into the office. So it's sleeting. We're expecting flurries, nothing accumulating. But, for Tennessee,
yeah.
I went to the store today, and it was crazy. We're getting milk and bread. It's silly. But anyway.
The snow apocalypse is coming. They got to get milk and bread.
All you have to do is
milk
talk
and bread,
about it.
no toilet paper?
That's right. Okay. I would go for chocolate. I don't know what about milk and bread.
I know. I don't understand the whole milk and bread thing, right?
But yeah.
Right. Exactly. We've got Kathryn Hogan from Canada on our panel, and you are looking for ancestors is your website where people can find you. We're so glad you're here tonight.
And it's snowing here. We've got at least 6 inches.
Oh my goodness. Last but not least, down at the bottom, at least on my screen, I don't know where she is for everybody else, we've got Shelley Murphy, aka the Family Tree Girl. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Hello, everybody.
You don't have any snow in Virginia, do you?
No.
We don't have any in South Carolina, but it's cold.
Yeah, it's going to get down to 29 tonight.
Well, yuck.
I'm okay. I'm inside. I'm fine.
This weather, we were going to have Team Black on tonight. Jen and JD were going to come join us, but their plane got delayed and they didn't get to make their connection. So they're hoping that they'll be able to join us next week. So we are really looking forward to that. We're going to talk about day 8 and of relative race. And boy, what a day it was. Before we start, I wanted to read something. I wrote down what JD said last night. Now, for those of y'all who follow relative race, we know that Team Black got their 3rd strike. And so technically they're out of the race. But last night on day 8, they were able to use their golden ticket to go visit the next relative. But they were asking them how they felt about it being their last night. And if I can read this without crying, this is what JD said. I know. He said, if in our last moments we can share something with the other teams, we really have, wait a minute, now I can't even read my writing. We really hope you get everything you want out of this, every single thing. And if not, we want to be there to help, waiting in the wings to fill in the holes that didn't get filled on this journey. We love you, fast friends, chosen family. Oh,
that beautiful.
That set the tone for the whole night, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they are amazing. Their whole attitude for this whole journey was nothing but being grateful and being kind and loving to everybody they met. And so I just thought, wow, what a blessed set of teams we have. I think all of them are just so. Their spirits are just wonderful, and it comes through on the screen, and their connections.
It's been different compared to the past 6 years. It's been different.
I agree. And did you know, I don't know how many people know that they actually all got together this past weekend in Atlanta. That's where they were flying. Everybody's flying back. Cool. That's why they got stuck out of town. They actually got together and had a little reunion. So that says something a lot about them, doesn't it? That
it does.
They took the time to get together. So, so we forgive them for not being able to be on.
I have one question for
you. You only got one? What's the question?
Did he get it? Did he get to meet his brother yet? That's the only thing I want to know. Don't tell me.
I saw on social media the answer to that question.
Oh.
So yeah, really? I did. I saw that. And so, but
do we want to know?
So if you want to wait and ask him that next week, we can wait.
I think so.
Okay, we'll wait so you can ask him that question. So let's go ahead and just talk about Team Black to begin with, and their final journey, episode in their journey. Anybody want to just, so it's not all me talking, anybody want to take over and talk about who they met and what happened?
JD's aunt I mean, he met Steve's sister.
Right. He met his
And
father's sister,
so,
Linda.
yes. Oh, it was just a remarkable
Wasn't it though?
opportunity for him to just meet her and hug her, and she hugged him.
It was wonderful, wasn't it? And she was
yes,
so
it
thrilled.
was.
She was
She
so
was.
thrilled to meet him, because you wonder, sometimes you hear about people finding these unknown, brothers and sisters and whatever, and how awkward that could be to meet. But everybody in his family has just been so loving and welcoming to him. And they've all had nothing but good things to say about his biological father, which has helped JD tremendously. And he said that last night, that I've learned that my biological father was a very nice man and a loving, kind, and gentle man. And she had made him that photo book.
Yes.
Yes.
Scrapbook.
Yes.
That was very nice.
He kind of looks
really
a little
nice.
like his biological father.
He does.
Well, he
Yes.
sure looked like his aunt, his first cousin right there.
Yeah.
The son of the aunt.
Yeah.
They looked alike.
They did look alike.
Yeah.
And he said when he saw the picture of his father, he said he looked at the picture and thought, I don't remember taking that picture.
Right.
Right. It was good, and she shared a lot of information.
She did, which I'm sure is helping him so much. And then, of course, was the question, do you want to go to the cemetery? Now, it took him a minute,
It did. He hesitated.
He did hesitate, and I wonder if part of that was am I ready, or do I want this on camera? I'm wondering if all those thoughts were going through his mind, because I don't know that that'd be hard to know that was being filmed, but he did, and they went, and that was very, very emotional. It was very emotional for him, and but now he knows.
And he's so proud.
Oh,
He's so
yes.
proud. That's the best thing for me,
Yeah.
when they're receiving this information.
Right.
And about Stephen, what was it?
Yes.
Stephen Wilson.
Stephen Wilson.
And
Yes.
military, the kind of work he did, the kind of brother he was.
Right.
Just makes you feel good. You're connected.
Exactly. And he did say, he said, this is the first step now on my journey of including this new family in my life. He said, this isn't closure for me. It's not closure. For a lot of people, this is closure. But for him, it's that first step. I mean, everything he says, I just want to cry. It's like,
And they're a little older too.
Yeah, and I think
so emotions and things might be just a little bit different too.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's
Now remind me, or
Yes.
remind me.
Sure.
His mother's living, not living?
I don't know that they've really.
I thought they said, because his grandmother told him 12 years ago.
Exactly.
Right? I knew that.
Yeah.
They said that in the show. But last night, for some reason, when he was going to, I thought, I said out loud, I said, it's going to be his mom. And then I thought, wait a minute. No, it wouldn't be his mom, because he already knew his mom or grew up with his mom.
Right.
Because his grandmother told him.
I don't remember them ever, unless I missed something, the beginning week.
I
don't remember either.
Okay. The reason I asked is because in my back of my mind, and this is not something I could maybe ask him, is, how has this affected your relationship with your mom? But he's not said a word about that. No,
that's what I'm saying.
So I'm wondering if it's a touchy issue.
And it could just be something he's not wanting to deal with, because
that's fine.
Yeah, and that's okay too. He's told us enough about his family.
He's met some wonderful, wonderful family members. It's just been wonderful.
Yes, he has, and they are really gonna be missed. The other thing that I wrote down that they did was that text message that he sent out, that they sent out
to everybody.
And what it said was, just wanted to let you know that we're a little green with envy, a little bit blue with sadness, and a lot of red with love for you all. So, you can tell that they missed them, especially at the Skype call and all that, that they had missed them. But
I was kind of surprised that they didn't include them in the Skype call.
To let them know what they had done. Yeah.
Yeah, to let the other team members see who he met and everything. But I mean, I understand that they're not there, but they did get the golden ticket. I was kind of surprised not to see them.
Yeah, that would have been okay. Relative race people, Dan. Next time,
we're waiting for Dan.
We want for everybody to see who the golden ticket people saw.
Yeah.
So let's add that, okay? We want to see their reaction. I mean, because they take all of our suggestions, right? So
right.
I thought it was going to be, instead of the aunt, I thought it was going to be his brother. So that's why I'm anxious to find
out.
They had some common things there,
Exactly.
both coaches, and they looked alike.
Yeah, and technically, if they had made it to day 9, they would have met one more person. So I'm wondering who that person would have been and if they've been able to meet them. So, their challenge this time was another funny challenge. Oh my goodness, really? So it was called.
I thought it was hilarious.
We think and think. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, family reunion game. How perfect would this be? Because there was a phrase. They had to answer it on their little boards and turn it around and see if they matched. And some of them were like,
what are you thinking?
Well, and some of that you saw generational things.
Well, that's true too.
They wouldn't have heard a whole lot, but it was just hilarious.
But Ray, they said, my name is, and he writes down John. Who's John? What?
We did that on the text. She said, "Who is John?" I said it was not the who did I say? Well, it's the mailman or something.
The mailman, yes. The Twitter feed last night. Listen, the live Twitter was hysterical with this game last night. It was so funny. And we remind you, people, anybody again, if you're on Twitter, you can live tweet during the show, and it's really, really fun because some of the team members will live tweet, and some of the former teams from past seasons live tweet, and it's just really fun to kind of get there. Because they're watching it for the first time too. They don't know.
Right.
I mean, they know who wins. They know who makes it to day 10, but they haven't seen it. They haven't seen the show. No. So they don't see some of these crazy things. Anitra, one of them was fly in the, and most people put ointment.
The cheese.
She put in the cheese.
Cheese.
Where did that even come from?
It's got to be the stress. It's just got to be the stress. And then what did Nicole said? Oh, about batting down the ball. she was thinking bat. So those were funny. So they had to get 10 in a row before they could leave. So those were so funny. And it just just helps. I know it's hard because they know they've got to get through these things, but it makes them laugh. And we all need something during the day to make us laugh. So I enjoyed that game.
I think they need to put out a book of challenges from Relative Race.
They do.
Because I wrote one day, I said, where are you all getting these things from?
Yeah.
Some of them was so fun.
Exactly. And we've mentioned this. So, they're doing some of the things that we've mentioned they're doing. They're doing
well, that's because we are their advisory board.
Exactly. They're doing a follow-up show that's going to be Dan told me that. And if you guys didn't see the interview, any of our GenFriend community out there that's watching, last week's show had my interview with Dan from Rootstech attached to it. And he said that they're doing a series of web shows following up with some of the teams. So they took our advice on that. So they've got to take our advice and put a book together and be a bestseller. Everybody would be buying it.
It would.
Family reunions. Let's move on to Team Red. Team Red had a really fun night. They left from Lamont's house, from Ray's brother's house, and he actually helped him finish his chart.
Wasn't that sweet?
He started at day 1 with nothing on his chart, and then Lamont was able to help him fill in his great-grandparents' names on his mother's side. So how wonderful to come away with that, with meeting his brother and having all those names. But I was really excited for Nicole because when they knocked on the door,
they didn't know.
That's right.
It was Nicole's cousin. And Ray seemed so excited for her too. He thought that was really cool because, I guess he's had them all. Has she had anybody? I'm trying to think. Has she met anybody yet? So
that was the first one.
The first one for her.
That was the first one.
And it was fun for her because it was on her father's side.
Something that she wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, and all those pictures and stories and things of people that she had never seen before. And she got to see her dad in pictures that she had never seen before.
Right.
So that would be really, really special. So I was excited for her because she's been so supportive of Ray through this. So just supportive of him. And she was, really honest at the end of the show after the results and everything came through, just how exhausted she is. I can't.
Yeah.
Tired.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's
she's
mentally,
exhausted.
physically, spiritually, everything completely exhausting. So, she got 2 more days to make it through. 2 more days. Don't y'all get knocked off. 2 more days to get through.
I have my prediction, so.
Who's your prediction?
I don't want to say it.
All right.
We had it in our chat. Remember
That's
GenFriends
true.
chat? It's there.
Yeah.
And somebody agreed with me. So I won't say.
Okay. We all have our, probably our thoughts, but I told everybody last week that my niece's husband in England wants Team Green to win because he can't understand a word Deshay says because of her Southern accent. So I think that's hysterical.
That's funny.
Because it's not even that, to me, it's not even that strong. So I just think it's
No,
funny.
not at all.
Not at all. Anitra had another really interesting meetup.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Melissa. Do you want to talk to us about Anitra?
She met her second cousins. Was it second cousins on her father's side? And what was amazing to me is that they looked like sisters.
I know they did. They really.
And they were mother and daughter.
Anitra met her. I was thinking, wait a minute, that's right.
Oh, wait, that's not the right one?
No, but it's fine. She met her mom's brother. Remember, Kevin?
Yeah.
Brother.
Her uncle, right.
Nicole's the one who met the mother and daughter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Flipping around. It's
Sorry.
okay. It's all right.
But that mother and daughter, they could have
did.
been sisters. I'm
They
telling
did.
you.
Yeah,
I didn't believe that
Yeah.
that was mother and daughter, and I thought, oh, she'd have met cousins.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
so
Yeah, and
young.
that was so cool for her because they're the ones that had all the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Melissa, it was remember it was her uncle Kevin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I could just see the uncle looking at her and seeing his sister.
And they
and
were
that's what he kept saying.
Kept saying, "You're so much like my sister." Yes.
And that was so emotional for him, even more than it was for her. That, just meeting.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
See it, and of course, I'm tearing up on it, because he's seeing his sister back alive.
Well, that's what he was
basically.
saying.
Yes.
Holding her was like holding his sister again.
Mm-hmm.
But the beginning of their day was really funny. The beginning of their day 8 because they were missing a map.
The dog ate it.
The dog tore up one of the maps. I'm like,
So funny.
And luckily
that was
wasn't the map
staged. That didn't really happen. That was staged. They just gave. I said, "Nah, that didn't happen." They gave that map to the dog. They needed some comic relief here.
That's too funny. Fortunately, it wasn't a map that they needed. Can you imagine?
No, it was another. It was going out of Charlotte the other way or something. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious, just enough to ease that tension, the emotional.
Exactly. I'm trying to get out of
tension.
there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what else was really cool too is Kevin, the uncle, was able to give her some photos, and he actually
of
had
Mama
a photo
and Daddy
together.
Yes.
Teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's
Right.
his rose-colored suit that he had on. She was laughing at that, and she says this makes them so real now because she'd seen pictures of them, but this is a photo of them together about the same age, probably.
She's out of parents.
When she was conceived, and so she said it just makes them so much more real to me now. So
And he gave her a T-shirt that belonged to her mother.
Her mother.
Don't you know that's going to be so treasured?
Oh, always. Yes, always. And I was thinking as I watched that one of my treasured possessions right now is a T-shirt of my dad's. It's got the American flag because he was so proud of his service to the country as a Vietnam vet. He was retired Air Force. I love that shirt because I know he wore it. So I can imagine that that's just a treasure for her, to have it. And her uncle said, I don't even know why I kept it, but now I know why I kept it. I kept it to give to you. So that was really beautiful. So she had, Ray had a great leaving with Lamont, and then Nicole gets her cousins, and then Anitra gets her cousin, and JD gets his aunt.
But
and then Team Green.
but
Team Green starts off the day with 5 minutes of GPS, which didn't go so well.
No. They couldn't get out of the parking lot.
They couldn't get out of the
That sounds like
parking
me.
lot. But how many times have we put in an address in that GPS and you go to leave and you're like, it's not saying anything. I don't know
but
what
she also wrote it down.
Luckily,
remember?
she did.
Very
Luckily,
smart.
She did. So that they could follow that. But I was just laughing so hard that they couldn't even get out of the parking lot. I thought that was hysterically funny because it's happened to all of us. I know it's happened to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's happened to all of us. And you just turn and hoping it doesn't say recalculating. You just
And do you know, the person she met was my highlight for the show. It really was. And I think back to past seasons. Remember where the father and the son were together and he met his mom, met his dad, you know, and those are huge. Or siblings, you know. Yes, love my cousins. But mama and daddy, oh my God. That just tips the scale. So thank you, Relative Race, on that. That makes it a little more real. You know, because we can look up on our cousins, and I'm saying that, you know, not to knock anything. But when you're finding mama and daddy, there's something to say about that.
So
She said, my name's Debbie. I knew exactly.
When she said that, yes.
Because we knew her name from
the bracelet.
Her bracelet. Yeah.
Yep.
And that was it. And I said, oh, everybody. Oh, my
I think everybody went, yeah. It was a collective.
That's the part of the show that I love is when we're gasping right with them.
Yeah.
You know.
And the look on her face. Go ahead.
I liked how they did them back to back. They did her father, then her mother. You know, it just was, and of course, my question is, you know, have they talked?
Have they talked? Well, it was interesting because Deshay gets to talk to her mom, and I loved the look on her face when she said, "Deshay, I'm your mom." That look, because I think she was wondering, you know, I mean, how could she not? They look so similar.
Yeah,
they do.
You know, same eyes, same dimples, and so I'm thinking.
Then they start doing that.
She must have, she must have had that clue, but to have somebody physically say it and to admit it and to confirm your suspicions has just got to be just so overwhelming. But Deshay was able to talk to her and say, thank you for your choice. You know, she said, when I had my son, I realized how hard it must have been for you to do this, but you did the right thing. And
you know, I could tell her mom was real comfortable with her decision. She said it was the best thing that I could do for her, which was such a sacrifice on a mother's part.
Exactly. And so when you ask
to realize that,
when you ask that question, I wonder if they've talked. I'm wondering if perhaps the answer may be no, because how she was describing her life at that point. She said her life was a mess. And so,
well, I'm not sure the dad knew, did he?
He said he didn't know.
He didn't know she was pregnant, but how much of the mess was he involved? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. How much did he have to do with that mess other than the fact that he was the dad? So I don't know if they've met or not, but for her to be able to get that out to Deshay as well must have been so healing for her.
And it was her birthday.
Birthday. How cool was
I know. They had to have orchestrated that one.
They had to have.
The timing. Well, it's also, can you imagine what they do on the planning aspect of the tracking, you know, the miles, the hours? I don't understand how they work out where somebody has 4 hours, somebody has 2.5, and they get there all at the same time. What happens? Or is the filming just continuing on just like it's all at the same time?
Yeah. I'm sure some of them are at the relatives' homes for hours before the other ones get there. And there's just the way they're just edited in. But, you know, it would be really kind of cool to see if we can get somebody from production to come on sometime and answer those questions, you know?
Yeah. The
how do you
technical
figure this
stuff.
out? How do you decide who goes where and when? And, Is it just based on what would make the best story and putting the stories together? Because, well, it's because they were teasing Team Blue last night, and they said, how did it feel just to tour your home state?
Right.
Chris Parton said they must be just dizzy because they've been going round and round in circles.
Round in circles, right.
So, how do they plan all that out to make good TV? And I guess that's what makes good TV.
And Dan could answer that if he wants to come on. GenFriends.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
He will. We'll get him. We'll get him when it's over, when everything's over, and hopefully when he's got some more announcements to make for us, because he's always saying, I don't know if BYU TV is going to be happy with me saying this, but I'm like, say it anyway.
Yeah.
Just say it. So we will.
Well, I predict next year I'm going to have a relative. Every year I get a relative.
And we would love that.
I want one. I want a relative.
Me too.
I do too.
Yeah.
Call
because
me.
I keep seeing them show up in my DNA.
In your DNA. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I've looked. I haven't seen any. Because after you had said that, I went and looked. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. I want a relative.
Wouldn't that be? I would be so ecstatic. They would have to say, no, she's too crazy. I
would have my whole family. I'd fly everybody from New Orleans, or we would do it in New Orleans, and they would have to have a traditional New Orleans dinner, and we would have to bring in the Mardi Gras Indians and have a parade down the street.
Exactly, and the rest of us would just join you. We'd be family.
Oh, yes, we would have a ball.
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. So we had, really wonderful relatives being met. Everybody, felt something. Everybody teared up. Everybody learned something new. Everybody had something else added to their tree. And like we said, for Team Green, for Deshay, mom and dad now. That's just amazing with no questions. And I'm thinking, well, who else? She's got, day 9. I wonder who else they're going to have for her to meet. This is going to be interesting.
Grandparents.
It could be Chris's family.
I was going to say, or maybe somebody else's family. Chris's family, which would be good too. So,
and he did have one earlier, remember?
Yeah, he's had family members before too. So I think that's great. I'm trying to think, has Paul, Anitra's husband, I don't think he's had anybody yet. It's all been Anitra. So would it be kind of fun if the last day he meets somebody? That would be kind of cool. Could be he said, nope, I just want this to be all about her. Because that's very interesting that they couldn't find one person in the area for him to go meet. So it's very possible that he just said, well, I want this to be all about her. So,
and it's possible that he has a small enough family that he knows there's not someone that they can surprise him with. Because
that's very true too. Yeah.
Exactly. And what's the status of Anitra's father? We don't know a whole lot about him, right?
So there's still
there's that
question for her to meet.
2 more weeks.
Yeah, well, no, we've got
one more.
They'll only meet one more. They only
one
meet
more day 9.
Day 9, and then that's it.
Well, but you got day 10.
But
well, that's true. They don't meet anybody, so it's only one more.
One more relative. So this is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Yeah,
it really is.
It really will be. So we get to the conference call, and once again, of course, they're really sad that Team Black isn't there. We're all sad that but I like Melissa's idea. They should have brought them on so that they could.
I was expecting them, like at the end, to say, "Oh, and by the way, here's Team Black and what they
did." Yeah, they didn't have to give a time or anything. They could have just showed them who they got to meet. Yeah, I like that idea. I think they should have done that. But they were all just thrilled with each other, all tearing up. When Deshay said, "And here's my mom," and she turns the computer, they're all, So I just love how much they're supporting one another. The results come in. Anybody want to give us the results?
Team Green won.
Team Green won. So
that's my prediction all the way through 10.
Yep. So
I think that 5 minutes of GPS really helped them.
It did. Even if they couldn't get out of the
I agree. Because they said while they were looking for where the house was, they said that they probably would have had a really hard time finding it without the GPS direction because it was way out. They said.
Yeah. So do you guys remember being team 1? What was the benefit that they win for next week? Do you guys remember what it is?
Yeah, they get to call one of the other team members and tell them to pull over for 5 minutes.
I don't know if I'd be able to do it. They're so close. I'm wondering if they're going to be able to do it.
It's competition.
At this point, they're getting down
too close.
It's getting close. It's getting close.
And they may just have had to make a pact and say, guys, no hard feelings. Just if you feel like one of us might be, I mean, yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that Team Green got it, if I was one of the other teams, I might say Team Green because they've been, but then again, Blue's been winning so many days as well. You know, they've been on a streak lately.
Right.
So, and my worry was that Team Red was going to get it and get that strike and they'd be gone. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately for Team Blue, they got the strike, but that kept all 3 teams in. So there's still a possibility on day 9 that we could get 3 teams going into day 10. It's happened before.
Yeah.
So we might get 3 teams on day 10, which would be so much fun. I kind of hope that happens. That would mean that, well,
I'm too competitive. I'm sorry.
Team Green
I'm going to be the odd one out. I want 2 teams.
Team Green would have to get the strike for the other 2 teams to stay.
They won't. So, they'll be fine.
And so, you know, so maybe in their heads they're thinking, look, we're guaranteed. Let's just let them work it out without anybody having to stop for 5 minutes because we're guaranteed day 10. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We've had these conversations before about, would you do this or would you do this if you had this? And some of us will say, no, we wouldn't. And some said, yeah, I would. So it's just going to depend. So
this is my first season of Relative Race. So since if they don't meet anybody on day 10, what does day 10 look like?
It's all competition.
All competition.
And a check.
And a check.
Okay.
Well, first of all, for day 10, they don't know beforehand where the location is. So it's usually an undisclosed location that all the teams have to get there. Once they meet up, then it's all purely competition, whether it's figuring out clues, collecting things, running around the city.
Oh, wow.
So I think having 3 teams makes it a little bit more exciting. But the last couple seasons has only been down to 2 teams. And sometimes it's been really, really close.
Yes.
So you never know what's going to happen when it comes to day 9 and going into day 10. Because we've seen it before where you think, oh, you know, it's going to be that team. They're going to make it all the way. And then something happens and they have a really bad day. And they end up getting that last strike, you know. So you never know.
You just never know.
Yeah,
and
plus I know the competitiveness is funny too.
Yeah,
on day 10, it'll be really so weird. It'll be something funny.
Well, and it's kind of that stress release too. Yes, they want to win, but they're not running to relatives' house. They're answering questions and doing things that are physical. And Melissa, we've had people get hurt, slip and fall.
Oh my goodness!
You know, you just never know what's going to happen on day 10.
I thought some of them were going to get hurt when they did that, like the ball through the thing.
Oh, gosh, I know.
They kept running up against the walls and stuff.
I know, for that challenge. Yeah, that was something else, wasn't it? But there've been teams that like it'd be raining outside and they're running and somebody will slip and fall, you know, things like that. So you just never know what's going to happen. Now it seems like to me that there was a clue or something that I read that they started out at a racetrack and so
they're supposed to end at a racetrack, aren't they?
Correct. Yeah.
Did they say that on the first episode, I think?
Yeah, I believe so. So I'm wondering what that's going to entail.
In the South.
So say that again, Shelley?
They're going to be in the South.
They could even be, you know, we got a lot of famous racetracks in the South.
They were in Florida.
Yeah,
I mean,
I believe so.
Just and all the relatives pretty much has been in the South.
Yeah.
You know.
And a lot of times, Melissa, they will bring the relatives in to help with certain games and things like that.
Yeah,
so
they'll bring back a relative.
They might do that on day 10 because they've done that before. So who knows what they've cooked up, you know, for day 10. So predictions for day 9, anybody?
I think that
who's everybody going to meet?
Let's see. Hang on a minute. We were just talking about it. Well, somebody else can go. Well, I'm thinking.
I just think Team Green's leading the way all the way to 10.
Yes.
And winning the check.
And winning the check. All right.
I'm going to say Team Blue. And she's going to meet her dad.
That's what I was going to say.
Thank you,
Kathryn.
On her father's side.
Yeah.
If maybe not him, then somebody on her father's side, just to kind of
close
because we don't know if he's living, do we?
No, we don't. As
we don't know anything. We don't know anything about the
brother
dad,
or a
right?
sister or a grandparent on her dad's side. Yeah. Anybody else want to throw out a prediction before we get to
no, I just think Team Green is going to win.
All righty. I don't know. Team Blue's been so good through this, and Team Red. Yeah. I mean, they're determined. They are determined. They said they are going to get a good night's sleep. Team Red did. They are going to get up, get ready, and focus. So, sometimes that adrenaline can get you farther when you feel like you're coming from behind than everybody assuming that you're going to win. Sometimes that's when you mess up. So could be anything on day 9. Could be anything. Well, has anybody got any last minute things they want to say before?
No, I'm just sending good vibes to all of them.
All of them.
Yes.
Exactly.
I want them all to have a good experience.
I do too. And like JD said, I hope that they all find the answers. That's the important thing, that they all find the answers. Yeah. And if for some reason that the show, the 7 days, doesn't provide all the answers, that they've gotten close enough and gotten enough clues that will then lead them to the
especially
answers.
with the DNA too.
Yeah, that they're looking for. So I'm really hoping, and what a wonderful show this is, to be able to bring families together like this. And Dan said at the very end,
I love it. Yes.
Like Dan said at the end, and it's all about relative. Relative is the key part of that phrase, a relative race. It's all about the family. It's all about the relatives. So, and it is.
I would love to do this on a local level.
Oh, wouldn't that? Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be so fun?
That would be
like
so
the
much fun.
Community, like like Central Virginia, say, and I'm just saying where I'm at, and because I'm seeing the connections on the research that I'm doing, and how these families connect. And I just had 2 ladies that I know, and they know each other, but they never knew they had a common ancestor. And so I sent them an inbox message on Facebook. And I said, oh, so-and-so, so-and-so, and this, that, and other.
Yeah. Your own relative race. There's just not the race involved.
Right. Well, look, I have to tell you all my story, though.
You do. Tell us.
Okay. There's a lady that either she sits behind me or in front of me at church. And I went into my DNA, and there she was. And I wrote her.
Wow.
I said, could this be you? And she responded back to me. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. Never in my wildest dreams that I even imagined that this was a relative.
Gosh, they're all around. We just don't
all
even
around,
know.
Yes, you never know.
We're more connected than we're not.
Oh,
and it
doesn't
matter what race or ethnicity, whatever we are all connected. And it's just finding which route we're gonna latch on to meet that connection.
Exactly.
That's right.
And we need to take an example from JD and Jen from this season and just embrace it. Just embrace it. Embrace everybody that you meet, and just like you said, bring them on into
we're all
family.
on borrowed time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The next day is not promised to any of us or anyone.
Love those family members that you have and the ones that you're finding. So with that, ladies, I would like to thank you so much for joining me tonight. This has been such a fun discussion, and I cannot wait till next week and see what we have to say then. And then, of course, day 10. So I can't believe we've gotten to this point. So with that, I want to say goodnight to all of y'all on the panel, and goodbye to everybody watching, and hope that you'll join us next time on GenFriends. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.